What's going on, guys? This is Anthony Family Man Trucking. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday night, December 15th, 2020. I'm in Nash, Arkansas, which is right outside Texarkana. As you can tell behind me, I'm in a hotel room. My truck is in the dealership at the moment. They're looking at my air compressor. Apparently, they think that was the main issue why it wasn't producing enough air. All right. Recall it was producing air, but it wasn't producing enough of it. All right. They changed out the air dryer, they changed out the governor, as well as two lines and the filter. Okay, but it wasn't producing enough. Yesterday, the mechanic, we took my truck over to a different place, and he looked all over, and he finally put a camera inside the air compressor, and he saw this right here. That's a spring that's attached to the loader valve that's attached to the air compressor. Of course, the air compressor pumps air into the air dryer, which basically allows my tanks to be filled with air. The governor kicks and purges and turns everything off until the next system gets ready to pump again. All right. This is supposed to be one piece. Apparently, it broke in half. Okay. So that's why it was pumping, but it wasn't pumping enough. And basically, what happened, the tech thinks that the spring had shifted and it locked up the air compressor. So they're going to change out the air compressor. Hopefully that's going to be the end of that. With that being said, guys, I'm at the hotel. I'm not making any money. It is what it is. It's a part of trucking. So be it, you know. But I also told you guys that I was going to come to you guys with a settlement. This settlement is going to cover the week between November 28th to December 4th, which is the week right after Thanksgiving. And I ran some serious miles that week. Nothing to be proud of. I don't like to run past 3,000, but it is what it is. The loads were paying good. So yeah, I ran 3,147 miles. The first load covered from Houston, Texas, over to Oakdale, Minnesota. That was 1,154 on the miles. The load was paying 2,500. To the truck was 2,200. Remember, here at MGR Lease, we get paid 88% of the load. So then over to, excuse me, I turned off my thing. An email came in. I not bobtailed, but I deadhead over to Eagan, Minnesota, which is basically like 15 miles away from Oakdale. And that one was paying 2,600. To the truck was 2,200. And that one was going to Grand Prairie, Texas, which is right outside, or actually it's a part of Dallas, to be honest with you, you know. And that one was only 926 miles. Okay. 40 miles south of Grand Prairie was Cleburne, Texas. That one was going to Charlotte, North Carolina. That one was paying 1,900. To the truck was 1,672. That one was covering a little bit over 1,000 miles, totaling 3,147. All right. I like to keep my miles between 25 and 3,000. Okay. But this one I went over 147 on that. So it is what it is. Big deal, right? My deductions, or actually, let me give you the cents per mile. The gross total was $7,000. All right. Now that last load from Cleburne over to Charlotte, North Carolina, was paying an extra $352 if I got there way early than what the appointment called. I think the appointment called for 11 o'clock. I got there around 7 in the morning to offload, mainly to get another load so I can get from Charlotte, North Carolina over to Ohio, because I was trying to make my way back into Chicago, because to turn in my truck and then start buying the truck that I'm getting from MGR Lease, which is the truck I have now. Okay. So that being said, I made $6,150. That was my net to the truck, plus the $352 on the bonus, which was basically just a little bit over $6,500. When you break everything down, it's $2.06 per mile. Overall was $2.22 per mile. So I averaged around $2.06, you know, on what I made. Okay. Not really too proud of my fuel costs. My fuel cost was real high. I like to keep my fuel costs between $800 and $900. But then again, I also ran a lot of Texas to Minnesota, Minnesota back to Texas, and then Texas over to North Carolina. So that's where the 3,147 miles came from. Okay, but yeah, my mileage was $1,300. I'm sorry, my fuel cost was $1,300, which is a lot. Okay, filled up 6 times. Really don't like to fill up that much. Like I said, I like to keep it between $800 and $900. So I'm over $400 on that part. Okay, my deductions. This is gonna give me somewhat of an idea on if I keep my numbers like this on how my deductions should be. Okay, for this settlement, my occupation insurance for November came in, which is $150. Okay, that's a one time per month. Electronic logbook service, that's just to use the keep trucking service. That's one time per month. Also, that's $30. The rental package, okay, of course that's weekly because we're renting the truck until you finally turn it in, okay, and then you start making payments on your truck, which will probably be roughly around $1,000. But the rental package is $1,500. Okay, so there's a $500 difference on that. I turned in my truck early, so my next settlement should be prorated on this rental package. Okay. Now, also the cargo insurance, that's etched in stone. That's what they charge us, which is $300 per settlement. Okay. So, yeah. Now the escrow. Remember, you got to meet 2,500. They took out $300 on my escrow, applied it to my balance, which is $2,200. So now all I have is $300 left. So once that escrow gets out of the way, I don't have to worry about that anymore. The service fee is $14. That's basically to do all your paperwork per week, for your IFTAs and all that stuff back and forth, So with that being said, my deductions was $2,294 for that week. So basically $2,300. Okay. Now remember, you're not always going to be paying for your occupation insurance. You're not always going to be paying for your electronic logbook service, and you're not always going to be paying for your escrow. Okay. There might be times where you're paying for your toll fees. There might be a time where you're paying for your IFTA taxes for your quarterly. So it's all going to vary. Okay. But this is going to give me an idea what my deductions should be. All right. Because the electronic logbook was $30, and then the insurance for the month was $150, so that's $180. Okay, all right. Now the escrow was $300. Okay, so that's $480 on those things right there. Now, let's just say my toll fees, okay, for a 1 month, because remember I told you, insurance, occupation insurance is just one time per month. Electronic logbook service, one time per month. Okay. So that's already $180. Let's just say your toll fees are $250. Okay. So basically that's a difference of $70. Okay. $70 difference, a balance, so to speak. Okay. If you get all those out of the way, like I said, you're not always going to be paying for your occupation. You're not always going to be paying for your electronic logbook. And you're not always going to be paying for your toll fees. They're going to come at you at different waves, so to speak. But they're all going to be the same. So with that being said, guys, if I keep my numbers the way these are, this is going to give me an idea on what my deductions are going to be. So basically, it's going to be roughly between $2,000 and $2,500. That's if I keep my toll fees down or under $300 a month. Okay, but like I said, they be coming in different waves. 1 week you might pay for your occupation. Next week you might pay for your toll fees. Next week you might pay for your logbook service or whatever the case might be. But your truck payment, your cargo insurance, your service fee, okay, and your trailer rental is always going to be there. Those four, okay. That's going to range around $1,600. All right, $1,600, and then of course whatever the other stuff is going to be. So I would sit there and say between 2 to 24 and maybe 25 per week, the most. You know, that's if you keep your toll fees down. Now, with that being said, guys, you guys want to know what I took home for the week. If I didn't have such a high fuel bill, this number would have been probably about $300 more. Okay, because remember, my escrow is also in there. Okay. Let's just say if my fuel was $400 less, $900, where I like to keep it. Okay, $400. My settlement, what I took home was $2,884. Let's just say my fuel was low. Whatever my fuel was low, apply that to this. So I'm guessing, or I'm hoping, if I keep these numbers as long as what these loads were paying, my check should range between $300 to $3,200 a week if I keep these numbers basically in the same ballpark, okay, with the low cost on the fuel, okay. So with that being said, guys, you can make money here at MGR Lease. It's just you just have to get over these deductions, your rental fee, your escrow, start making truck payments, everything starts lowering, okay, and then yeah, you start making some money. You're making money now, but you can make even more once all this stuff gets out of the way. So $2,884 is what I took home to the bank, okay. But like I said, if my fuel cost was lower, then it would have been well over $3,000. All right. Once I get my escrow out of the way, that goes towards my my weekly take home. So like I said, when you get these things out of the way, you start making more money. I'm making money now, but if I keep these numbers around this area with those two out of the way, high fuel costs, escrow, then yeah, I'll be making better money, which is I'm hoping. The only thing is right now my truck's in the shop, it's getting done. They figured out what the issue was. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. I'll go back on the road. Hopefully by tomorrow, start making some money, because here we are Tuesday. I haven't done dilly squat yet. Okay, it's a part of trucking, so be it. All right. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys have any comments, questions, please list them below. Thanks for stopping by, Family Man Trucking. God bless. Be careful out there. The roads are getting kind of dangerous, so to speak. And take care.